listen close, real close, cause what I'm about to tell you ain't some ghost story spit out for kicks. This is real. Pull up a chair, turn off the lights, let the silence settle, cause trust me, the darkness, it listens too. It was a rain-slick Tuesday night in Bismarck, North Dakota. Cold, that special kind of cold that gets under your skin and stays there. The kind that makes old houses groan like they're alive and trying to warn you off. Martha Jenkins, 62, retired schoolteacher, widow, lived alone in a squat brick ranch style on Elm Street. No neighbors close, just wind, darkness, and the creak of aging wood. She'd just gotten home from her bridge club. The usual chatter, the scent of perfume and coffee, the clatter of cards, but something felt off. The moment she stepped into her hallway, the air changed. Thick, heavy, like walking through fog you couldn't see. She flicked on the overhead light and it flickered. Once, twice, then steadied. She shrugged it off. Old wiring probably, but Martha, she'd lived there 35 years. She knew every squeak, every groan, and this wasn't normal. It started with the sound, not a noise exactly, more like a presence, a soft, rhythmic, breathtaking whisper. It came from everywhere and nowhere. The walls, the ceiling, even the floor beneath her feet. It wasn't words, not at first. Just a hushed sigh, like someone standing too close behind you, breathing into your neck. She froze in the hallway, heart hammering, sweat beading on her brow despite the chill. "Hello," she called, voice trembling. "Who's there?" Silence. Then the whispering grew louder, layered now, dozens, maybe hundreds of voices, overlapping, merging, some high-pitched, scratchy like sandpaper on skin, others deep and resonant, vibrating in her chest. And underneath it all a single phrase, repeated over and over, in a voice that sounded old. Let us in, let us in." Martha turned, backpedaling toward the front door. Her hand fumbled for the knob. The whisper spiked, a chorus of desperate, guttural pleas. Then a scratch, like nails raking plaster, from the living room wall. She didn't wait, yanked the door open, stumbled into the pitch-black night, and didn't stop running until she reached old Mr. Henderson's porch 2 houses down. Banging on his door, screaming for help. Mr. Henderson, 84, hard of hearing, perpetually grumpy, opened up, flashlight beam cutting through the darkness. "Martha. Good Lord, woman, you look like you've seen her." "I have," she gasped, doubles over, gasping. "In the walls. They're in the walls, talking, whispering, begging." He stared at her, face lit by the flashlight. No fear, just tired confusion. "Walls, Martha, you've had a shock. Come inside, let's get you warm." But Martha wouldn't move, not back there, not alone. She spent the night on Mr. Henderson's couch, wrapped in blankets, staring at the clock. 3 a.m., 4 a.m., 5 a.m. The whispers never stopped. She could hear them from here, faint but unmistakable. A constant, undulating murmur, like a radio tuned between stations, except this station only broadcast terror. By dawn, Martha felt exhausted but oddly resolved. Whatever had happened, it was over, right? The night was done. She'd sleep it off, maybe call the priest, have someone check the house for drafts or rodents or whatever. She thanked Mr. Henderson, hugged her coat tight, and walked back to her house under a steel gray sky. The moment she stepped inside, the whispers surged, louder, angrier. The hallway walls pulsed, like flesh, not drywall. A faint, sickly orange glow seeped through the cracks, and the air, it reeked, not of mildew or rot, something old, like dust buried for centuries, mixed with the sharp, metallic tang of fierce sweat. "Okay," Martha whispered, backing up. "Okay, what is this?" Then the voice, not a whisper this time, a roar, deep, guttural, vibrating the floorboards. "We have WAITED." The walls splintered, not just cracked, splintered, like wood under a giant's fist. Gaps erupted, wide and jagged. Through them, Martha saw it, a void, an impossible swirling blackness that swallowed light, and inside it shapes, twisted, elongated things, writhing like worms in oil. Some had faces. Not eyes, just hollow pits that dripped a thick, black fluid. Others had too many limbs, folding in on themselves like broken puppets. And all of them, all pressed forward, reaching through the gaps, fingers curling like roots. Martha screamed. It wasn't a scream of surprise. It was a raw, animal howl of pure, primal terror. She turned and ran straight for the back door, but the hallway shifted. the floor tilted. Walls seemed to breathe, closing in, stretching, rearranging themselves like the house was alive. She crashed into the kitchen, grabbed a carving knife, held it like a shield, but the whispers were inside her head now, not just voices, thoughts. Horrific, intrusive images flooding her mind, her own hands turning black, her bones snapping like twigs, her soul stretched thin and used up. Join us, forever. The back door wouldn't budge, locked, or maybe just sealed. The gaps in the walls widened. The writhing shapes oozed closer, dripping that black fluid onto her linoleum floor. It smoked where it hit, ate at the vinyl like acid, and then one of the shapes spoke, not in words, in a sensation, cold. Deep soul, deep cold, and Martha understood. We were here before the earth cooled. We were here before men built houses. We are the forgotten, the starved, the lost, and you heard us, you invited us. Martha's legs gave out. She collapsed against the counter, knife clattering to the floor. The shapes hesitated, the void pulsed, humming with 1,000 hungry whispers. Then silence, the gaps sealed, the walls smoothed, the orange glow vanished. The stench faded, leaving only the faint, metallic aftertaste of fear. Martha sat there, trembling for what felt like hours. The house was silent, still, dead normal, but she knew. She didn't call the priest, didn't call anyone. She packed a bag, and she left Bismarck that afternoon, never looked back. Years later, Martha told her story to a paranormal investigator group. They laughed, of course. Sleep deprivation, they said. Carbon monoxide, they suggested. Mental break, they offered kindly, but Martha just stared at the recorder, eyes wide and ancient. You don't understand, she whispered. They're always there, in every wall, every house, every silence. They're patient. They wait for someone to hear, for someone to invite them in. And you sitting there, listening to this, turn off the music, close the windows, listen, really listen, 'cause they're out there, they're always out there, and they're whispering.